Welcome to the Angelscapes podcast, where you're encouraged to uncover and develop a direct connection with your soul's power, wisdom, and spiritual intuition that is ready to blossom. We'll explore new ideas, compelling tips, and real steps to help you learn simple spiritual practices. We're a safe place to learn more about accessing your soul's power with education and spiritual wholeness that could bring more clarity to your life. Now here's your host, a practicing medium, Akashic Records practitioner, spirit artist, coach, and mentor, Dr. Reverend Nancy Smith.
If you decided to change your world, what would it look like? Do you want to know more about inner work and the superpower of self-love? Hello, this is Angelscapes, and I'm your host, Nancy Smith, and joining me again is Miché Meizner. We welcome her back. She's a spiritual mentor, she's a healer, she's a coach, and Miché will be talking about mindful thinking and the superpower of self-love. How does your state of mind and self-talk influence you, your reality, and how does it define who you can be in the moment? So welcome, Miché.
Thank you. I'm always happy to be here for a conversation with you. And this is a great topic. I mean, this is, we shine in this topic and share good information to help people really make shifts.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. That's what we're running the hamster wheel for.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm excited because this is a special podcast to just talk about what you're up to, what you're doing. And I have seen people work with Miché and they really shine. They really, no pun intended, change their minds and move forward in new ways. And I've watched people blossom working with you, Miché. So what is your work all about? What are you doing?
Well, at the crux of it, whatever I'm doing, the fundamental piece of it is about self-love and self-acceptance. I think self-love is one of our greatest superpowers. It's a stance from which we can do all sorts of things. It gives us a courage and the support, like being our own support in order to try new things, in order to do something maybe scary or vulnerable, because if you are going to have your back, no matter what the outcome is, then it's so much easier and less risky to take some steps, right? Even like I'm kind of famous for being on an interview and saying, oh, I forgot what I was just going to say. And I don't try to cover it up or get over it or whatever. It's, we're human and it happens. Maybe it doesn't happen to some people, but for me to show really who I am, and that's how it goes, and to accept that, just you did it very graciously and gracefully. And the more we can do that for ourselves, the more we can shine and bring out more of who we are, the parts of us that maybe, we were feeling shy about or unsure about or didn't think anybody would want to, be friends with or whatever. And to be friends with ourselves first. And so that's a lot of the work I do with people, to see themselves in that way.
Now, you have this program, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like this entrainment, or what is it that you do? It's like this energetic, and then you work with people after that. You tell
Right. Yeah. So the piece particularly that you're talking about is called a cosmic attunement. And it's a big energetic clearing out of like the debris, the emotional energy, physical debris in your, let's say, in your quantum field around you, right? So it's not so much that one working on the inside, but clearing your own personal space, which does clear out a bunch of things, within, but we're not directly focusing on, limiting beliefs or blocks or whatever. And then, so that's part of a bigger system I created of a clear path journey. And so the journey would start with this big clearing to sort of, okay, clear the deck, get all the papers off your desktop so you can see and think. And then we go more focused, more narrowly into your self-love, into how are you seeing yourself and feeling about yourself, looking at How do you talk to yourself? What's the language that you use? Because that can be just such a game changer. If you're someone who will quickly say to yourself, I can't do that, or that never works for me,
Right.
you're feeding that into reality, right? Because you're bringing that in, you're calling the energy of that in, even though it maybe never worked, 98 times, it could work on the 99th time or the 103rd or whatever. And the way to get to that is to be open to possibility, and to acknowledge, okay, well, the last 98 times I tried it didn't work, but this time I'm open to something else showing up, or, finding some other uh, character or piece of wisdom within myself that can allow me to have a different experience, instead of convincing ourselves that we really are that, whatever, we're sort of putting
Becoming that.
ourselves down about
You're
it.
not talking yourself into being that. You're becoming that with the work that people do with you. That's what I'm
Right.
hearing, and
Yeah.
pretty exciting. Um,
Right.
how long does a session take with you, and how many sessions do you recommend?
Right. So the clearing, the attunement, that's a one session, about an hour to an hour and a half, for the energy work and the kind of debriefing. And there's some, like, I would say, intuitive consultation coaching in there. And then I recommend a series of 3 to 4 after that, to really look at uh, the particular areas that you might really most want to change. I mean, we start with within, with your own, how you see yourself, how you speak to yourself, how you treat yourself. And then from there, we can look at, is it more of you're running a business and you want some more focus and help in how you're presenting or what you're doing, or is it more of a family thing, or, you're, I would say, a woman of a certain age, and we're looking to start something new, start something fresh in our lives at whatever age you define that as, right? But not necessarily bringing the baggage and the patterns and the rules that we kind of grew up with us, stepping into something fresh. So yeah, the clearing, and then 3 to 4 sessions to follow that.
So here's a question. Metaphorically, I clean my desk off, and within a few days, it's a mess again.
Mm-hmm.
So when you clear, you're clearing out things that have collected over the years. I think I understand you're saying that. Can that stuff
Right.
collect again?
Over time, yes. I mean, it can, not as quickly as our desks tend to, fill up again, right? Because there's so much, coming in. But this is clearing out on sort of multidimensional levels, and some very old stuff. Sometimes it's ancestral stuff, and that's not going to just show up again. But part of the reason for the follow-up sessions, even though they're more specific, but it's to, when you make some big change, well, like you clean off your desk, right? And normally your desk is never clean. You need some system. You need something that is going to support you in
Yes.
keeping it that way, or finding a new balance. I recently heard somebody talking about this idea that we have, sort of the top of the arc and the bottom of the arc with whatever, let's say with cleaning your desk, that you like to have a clean desk, but you tend to not have it. You let it go until it reaches the top of your tolerance,
Yeah.
right? Then you clean it up, and then it feels really good. So you relax and you enjoy it, and then it starts, going again. And then we're at the bottom of, how willing are you to stay in that space, and you hit your bottom in that, and then you clean it up again, but you keep going between these 2 points. And so this work is about really shifting or even eliminating the points, and coming at it from a different way of supporting yourself.
How did you come to this? What were you learning in your life, or what training did you get, or which brought you here to this point?
Right. Well, a very long lifetime of depression, background of depression, of feeling not enough. I actually thought I was supposed to save the world when I was a 5-year-old. So that was a real setup for not feeling good enough. And consequently, I was angry at myself a lot. And these things I talk about, how you speak to yourself and how you treat yourself, I know whereof I speak, because I had to fix that. I had to shift that in myself first. in order to really fully accept and respect myself, which is where the the rest of me sort of came in, because even when I was younger, I was doing peer counseling, and I don't know, maybe in my 30s or 40s when I started learning different energy techniques, pranic healing, matrix energetics, reconnection. There's about a dozen of them that I studied. And I could only go so far because I guess because I didn't see myself in all my truth and the power of me. So I was busy trying to be
Oh,
some emulation of the power of somebody else, but that was their thing. It wasn't my, it wasn't just how I move. And so what I learned in many ways, but particularly through that, was you got to start trusting yourself and allowing, your little inklings, your little thoughts, your um, inspirations, which you speak to people about being inspired and connected to your soul. This is all part of it. And we're always connected to our souls, but I believe that when you're in a place of self-loving and you're looking to expand, as opposed to a place of self-loathing, and you feel like you need to fill something because you're empty, when you're from the not so empty place, you can actually receive more. When you're full, you can get more.
yeah.
Right.
When you love yourself, then you take in more love. I don't know why it works that way, but I have found that to be absolutely true. Like
Right. Yeah.
the
Well,
first
just
step is loving
right.
yourself than anything.
Sometimes, I'll just have people think about something positive, something they're really happy about, and just notice what happens in your body. Right. And, start talking about, imagine even something that you've accomplished, right? Like you've got your book behind you, you've won an award, you start thinking about that. Maybe you start sitting up a little straighter and your shoulders go back and you're breathing a little deeper. Just simple things like that, But if you're talking about how, you never get this done, or I always, mess my desk up as soon as I clean it off, like you're shrinking, and you're closing yourself off. Not just you. I'm using you as an example, right? Um, when you're being fully aligned and be with yourself as opposed to against yourself, you know you're you're stepping forward, and even though you're full of yourself in a good way, it's like you've got more surface area to receive stuff because you're not crunched down and maybe trying to hide or something like that. So
It's a great
I'm not sure
explaining.
that's the technical you
I
know
like that. When you're crunched up, you can't hold anything, but when you're stretched out, you're like your counter spaces. You can really make something.
right.
So
Yeah.
like that low sound. So that's how long have you been doing this work? I mean,
um
you've been doing it personally for a long, long, long time, but when you start reaching out to people,
Right. Actually, well, as far as like the peer counseling, I was doing that and teaching and training and working with people when I was maybe 19 or
wow.
20. So I really, I jumped on. Um, and you could probably say that I was coaching and counseling my elders even when I was like 12, because
Oh my
I
gosh.
guess I thought who the heck I was, and I could see around me, I saw a lot of women not so happy, putting themselves down. Often they had husbands who were often putting them down, and I was really sensitive to that as a kid. So I actually started my work then. But as far as like the energy work and whatnot, I would say I started more in my early 30s, which is more than 30 years ago now, which is crazy. And like I said, I've studied, quite a few different modalities, often with the person who actually invented the modality. So that was pretty cool. And just also absorbed and studied and read a lot of books and tried things out. But as far as really looking at this and having clients, I guess I would say more than 20 years.
Okay.
And this particular work that I was talking about at the beginning, the clear path journey, starting with the cosmic attunement, that was the cosmic attunement itself came to me as a download. I
Wow.
call it, from my healer guides, the people, beings who for years while I was doing energy work with people, like in a room, I could sort of feel them up in the gallery, like in an operating
Mhm.
room, where there's the big honchos stand up there and watch or whatever. Like they were keeping an eye on me, make sure I didn't, go too far off or do something wrong, but they never really interacted with me other than just, kind of, we're here, we support you. But at this time, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, um, they actually came through. A friend of mine channeled them, giving me instructions and basically saying, like, get up and do this. Like, stop trying to do other people's stuff. Do your thing. You have it. You've got enough within you, which, again, goes back to, you got to be loving and accepting and respecting of yourself to see what is in you, what is in me. And that was a very powerful uplift for me, and, seal of approval. And I dug even deeper. And I feel like the work that I'm doing with people now, as far as able to help them transform and really change things, has just gone off the charts compared to what I was doing before, which was, it was helpful. I mean, definitely people that benefit from working with me, but I feel like now, particularly with this first attunement, it just can transform people's lives. Just having, um, it's like if you were walking around, I don't know, with, and your own atmosphere was like foggy and polluted and had, garbage around and whatever, and you don't even notice because it's not, you know, visible, tangible in that way. And then we get that all out of there and we bring in some more light and some energy and maybe get you a better connection with your own higher self. You're operating on a whole different plane then.
Definitely. Yeah. So I want to, before we get too far
Yeah.
gone, I want to talk about how people can reach you. And you have a program coming up real soon in April 9th?
7th, April
7th.
7th. Yeah. I'm
Mhm.
right. So one of the other things I'm known for is spoon bending. And the reason I do the spoon bending is because what we're really doing is looking at, while you're trying to bend a spoon or, making the attempt, you start to see, what are you saying to yourself? What's going on in there? Because that affects what you're capable of. And so it's really an exercise in noticing what's going on and in finding your own inner alignment, and even just like a sweet spot from where you feel good about yourself and you are just stepping out into, in this circumstance, into an attempt to bend a spoon. Pretty low bar on that,
Yeah.
you know, whether you do or you don't, but you're learning about energy, how to shift energy, how to feel the energy within yourself. So there's a whole, it's like a whole class, just uh, squished into one spoon bending webinar. This one's going to be 90 minutes. I've been doing it for 60 minutes. So I'm going to go a little more into helping people get into a state
Yeah.
of openness. And I will post the link on your Facebook page. It's a Facebook event. I guess I'll post it on my page too. People can find me on Facebook by searching Miché Shines, Micheshines. And I just changed my business page to Hey Miche, or Spoonbender's Cafe. Maybe that's easier to remember since we're talking about spoon bending. And there's an early bird ticket price that goes through the end of March. I think it's $27, and then it goes up to 36 or something. So
Wow.
good time to sign up right now.
Both prices are very good. But,
Yeah.
I recommend it. I took this class with you a couple of times, this workshop, and bent spoons every time. But the most fun is watching other people bend their spoons, going,
Yeah.
but, and also the sharing that happens. I was thinking this, but I'm thinking this, and look what happened. And
Right.
so it's not just I bent a spoon, it's really, I realize now how I've been in my way, or I realize now that I can tell myself this. It's kind of miraculous, I have to say.
Yeah, it really is. And I talk about a lot of different ways to find that moment, that point. And so it really does open things for people, even, you know, uh, people who are also healers and coaches and have a lot of experience doing metaphysical stuff. Um, they still see a place where they could be more open, or where they could have a different idea or whatever. So really, anybody who comes to one of these learns something new about themselves, and learns something new usually about how to work with the world. I mean, literally, like with a spoon, for example, but then how to use that in your life.
What did that one woman said? I said, if I can bend the spoon, I can finish. She's trying to do something. I can buy the car. If
Right.
I can bend this,
Yeah.
I can accomplish this big goal. And she walked away, and so did I, feeling very positive about what she was going to be able to accomplish.
Mhm.
And
Right.
but it wasn't, like you said, forcing yourself into um being positive or forcing yourself into the role. She embraced it. She was it.
Right.
It is
Yeah. It's about flow and ease. I mean, ironically, the harder you try to bend the spoon, the less likely you're going to bend it. Because again, you think you're moving forward, but you're sort of, crunching up. It's trying to demand some outcome. And this is more about sort of having a dance with the universe or dance with the energies around you and letting something else happen, with an intention, with a focus, but also holding it lightly, holding it gently.
Yeah. Oh yeah, holding it lightly, holding it gently. Be kind to yourself.
Yes.
So we have to end, and I'm really excited that you came on this quick little podcast to talk about this so important concept of self-love, how you talk to yourself, how it changes your world, changes your reality, even changes the molecules around you. And it's exciting. So find Miché at Miché Shines on Facebook, or go to Spoonbenders. I guess you could just search for Spoonbenders Cafe
Right.
for now,
Yeah.
and she'll have a lot more information, and sign up for her workshop, or just sign up and get the Clear Path program with her. So
Hmm.
I, I,
Right.
I love bringing people onto these podcasts that are really available to help you, who are real people doing the real work. And I wouldn't let you down, guys. Miché is really, if
Right.
she's your cup of tea, work with her. Don't hesitate. So
Right. And if you miss the April date, I will be doing them periodically. So check out my Facebook pages and stay in touch.
yeah, but don't procrastinate.
Yes.
Do
And
it
right.
now.
Do it now. Do it now. But maybe you're watching this and it's already, April 9th. And so,
If you missed it, there's
yeah.
another. Miché
Yeah.
Shines on Facebook and Spoonbender Cafe. You will find her, work with her. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I always love talking about this stuff with you.
I know
And thanks for the
you're a
opportunity.
regular. Yeah. So I'll see you in a couple of weeks again. You want in a couple of months again. You're just a regular. You're one of my I am a big fan of yours. So love hearing what you have to say. So we will have a wonderful days going ahead, and good luck with the workshop. Good luck with your work, and until the next episode, um, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and
Yes.
love yourself.
Yes. Right.
Thank you for joining the Angelscapes podcast. We hope you've gained new insights and inspiration for your journey to uncover and access your soul's power. For more information and a deeper dive into finding clarity in your life, go to angelscapes.com. Remember to subscribe so you can be part of the discussion. It may just change your life. See you next time.